This is a Valve Steam Deck, and this is Ultrakill. What do those two things have in common? They both have playable dating sims. Oh, and Ultrakill is verified on Steam Deck, too. Ultrakill is a game created by R.C. Hikita Padilla, published by New Blood Interactive. You might recognize them as the publisher of Faith, the Unholy Trinity. Anyway, released in 2020, the game is a first-person, fast-paced, action-packed, ultra-violent, devil-may-cry, doom-inspired movement shooter. Now, what's a movement shooter, you ask? I can't tell. However, I gotta warn you, Ultrakill is still in early access, so if you only want to play fully finished games, then this one is not for you. But that doesn't mean it isn't polished. I mean, seriously, Ultrakill is chock full of detail. The gameplay feels amazing, and it can look beautiful at times, even with its PS2-like art style. Which you shouldn't be complaining about, my child. Graphics don't matter. You don't need to see every individual hair in a minor character's face and pay $70 for it, you know. Currently, the game contains a prelude, the entirety of the first two acts, plus the first layer of Act 3, which is a total of 29 levels, out of 35 planned levels in the main campaign. Separate from the main campaign question, the game also has 2 encore levels, an endless arena mode called the Cyber Grind, 2 brutally difficult secret bosses, and a sandbox map, which is GM Construct. Oh yeah, and 7 secret levels, which is where the dating sim I mentioned before comes from. On top of all that, the game also has 5 different difficulties, with the 6th most challenging difficulty on the way. Also, just a fair warning, if you're a masochist who decides to start their first playthrough in the hardest difficulty available, brutal, you will suffer quite the consequences.
You're getting rusty, machine!
On a more detailed note regarding the gameplay, Ultrakill is heavily based on being stylish, which essentially means just doing the most, as fast as possible, while avoiding being hit like it's the plague. And the more stylish you are, the higher your style rank. Your weapon arsenal, that allows you to do previously mentioned, the most, has a total of 5 weapons: the revolver, the shotgun, the nail gun, the rail cannon, and the rocket launcher. And I know that may not seem like a lot, but every weapon has 3 swappable variations that you can purchase at the terminal at the start of each level. Plus alternate versions of 3 of the weapons that are practically entirely different from their original counterparts. And 3 melee arms as well, with the 4th one currently being unavailable, that all have different abilities. You can also rocket ride with the rocket launcher, so that makes any complaint about the amount of weapons invalid. And let me tell you, all those things combine to form one of the most dopamine-inducing gameplay experiences I've ever had. Like, even the water controls are fun. How did IKEA do that? Aiming for the game's P ranks in each level is incredibly fun too. Basically, to achieve a P rank in Ultrakill, you need to get through a level as fast as possible while killing every enemy, gathering the required amount of style points, and not dying once, which all amounts to 3 different S ranks in each category, which results in a P rank at the end of the level. This can be super challenging depending on the level you're attempting to P rank, which makes it all the more satisfying when you finally do achieve that rank. Also, there's a special surprise waiting for you once you P rank all the levels in a finished act.
Judgment!
The game follows a machine called V1, long after the total extinction of humanity, that descends into hell, slaughtering everything on each individual layer, plus some other machines along the way. In the third layer of hell, Gluttony, however, V1 encounters something different. Gabriel, an angel of heaven, yet judge of hell. I'll leave it at that, as I want people to go into this game completely blind, like I did. Apart from the main plot, you can also discover more information about the game's world and lore by reading terminal entries and books that no player that is actually good at the f***ing game will stop to read. But I will say this about the main plot. Gabriel is an amazing character, and he has such a well-written character arc despite it not even having concluded yet. Also, Gabriel is voiced by Gianni Matragrano, that funny voice actor guy on the internet. Overall, Ultrakill is amazing, and now that I think about it, this doesn't really feel like a review to me. More me just gushing about my favorite game of all time for a little while. I hope you guys don't feel that way as well. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, let's get to the review on deck. Like I said before, Ultrakill is verified on Steam Deck. That means it works on the little handheld gizmo right out of the box. No extra configuration needed. The game runs at a consistent 60 to 90 frames per second, depending on which model of the Steam Deck the game is being played on. Playing Ultrakill on a Steam Deck may feel plain wrong to some, but I'm fine with it because I've spent my entire life avoiding the use of a keyboard to play any video game with. You can also turn on auto-aim in the game's settings if that helps as well. The game's bindings on Steam Deck aren't automatically configured with gyro. I've heard some people complain about that. Me personally, I don't really use gyro very much, so that doesn't matter to me. You can change your bindings so the game does have gyro, though, if you're that kind of person. Ultrakill is also able to be modded on Steam Deck, and it's shockingly easy to do so. Certain custom levels that are playable through mods are where I actually noticed frame drops. So if you're intending to play custom levels in the game on Steam Deck, be aware of that. Overall, I'd give the experience of Ultrakill on Steam Deck a 7 out of the 9 layers of hell. I hope that whoever watches this video enjoyed it, or at least found it slightly entertaining. I'm not very competent in this video since this is my first attempt at doing anything like this, so I hope it wasn't horrible. Anyway, subscribe for more, and maybe even suggest a game I should review sometime. Catch you later.